This is Wesley,
This is Ka'shenia,
and we would like to welcome you to the
the
Underground
underground
Geek
geek
Shack.
shack. I
Technically, it's
almost
it's 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 the Zoom edition this time,
the
but you can
the
actually see
Zoom
both of
edition.
us at once.
I was about to say you can actually see the two of us. It's the two of us. We will make it if we can. Okay, you know what? I'll stop. I'll stop right there. This is kind of like a special one because you can say we kind of did our own research with this.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because this is a pseudo video game edition, because technically this is of a video game that
Called Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles.
and,
So,
and what's so special about this specific series in particular, Wes?
one, the fact that it was made by CyberConnect 2, also known as CC2. They are the same developers that have worked on the Naruto Storm series from basically I know them from Storm 4 and
I know them
the
from nothing.
the most recent um Naruto Storm game that came out being Storm Connections. Boruto to Naruto Storm Connections. I think the most of the world knows about that game now.
I think because of, especially from that clip that you showed me, the god awful voice acting, I was just like, what is this?
But hey, it's not on the voice actor's fault. She already, talked about it and everything.
Yeah. But no, why I was saying this was very special was because of the fact that we actually did a gameplay series on this ourselves.
Yeah.
We're still working on actually getting it out, but we actually physically, both me and Wes, played through the entire video game ourselves.
Yep, we played through this. We had laughs. We switched up some things when it came to the storyline of the video game for
Let's
Demon
just say
Slayer.
poor Tanjiro has split personality issues.
Yeah, and then some of the townspeople in certain parts got a little bit weird.
Definitely got a little bit weird. I can definitely say that. But I have to say overall it was really interesting.
Hmm.
Let's start off by let's talk about the game itself before we compare it to its source material and to, let's just say, other anime games that
Hmm.
kind of do the same thing. So,
Hmm.
what is the Hinokami Chronicles series? It is, of course, Demon Slayer in video game. And in a lot of video game tradition, it's an arena fighter. Yes, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, you're not
It's a
wrong.
trope. It's a trope at this point. Like, think of it, if you played Once Justice, the Ninja Storm series. I've played some games that I played the Ultimate Ninja Storm
Hmm.
that came out
Yeah,
on like PS2 and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah.
But it's in the same realm of that. And when it comes to the story of it, it follows, like, the actual story of the game follows first season and Mugen Train,
Hmm.
and then it has a DLC for season 2. But from what I remember, we didn't actually get into any of the story of season 2. It just added a bunch of characters from season 2.
All we really got was the entertainment district arena, and then we got uh Tengen Uzui,
Yep.
and that was pretty much it. No, we got Tengen, we got Daki, and we got Gyutaro, her brother. So
Yep.
those three characters, along with the entertainment district version of, well, Zenitsu, Inosuke, and then the the bloodshot eyes of Tanjiro when he actually fought against Daki in season 2. So.
Yeah. And I'm gonna talk about the character select here in just a second. But
Mhm.
continuing on with the game, what did I personally think about the game? So I have to say, me and Wesley, we did multiple things. We did have some sessions where we just did the arena fighting, where we went up against each other and stuff like that. And I have to say, um, it's not Smash Bros. So what do I mean by that? There, it's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it. you know how Smash Bros kind of feels balanced? Like, yes, there are some good characters, there are some bad characters, but I mean, even if you learn how to play the bad characters, you can at least each character can match up against each other. There are some that are obviously better than others, but even with the bad ones, you can learn how to use them really, really well and
Mhm.
be still top tier with everybody else.
Yeah.
With Demon Slayer, with the characters that were given to you, and I'll talk more about that here in a second because I have a lot to say. It honestly really did feel like some characters just weren't all that good, or they were only good when you weren't controlling them.
They were only good when the AI was in control.
Okay, yes, so perfect example, Rui.
Mhm.
Wesley, you can you can vouch for me on this one. When it came to using freaking Rui, the computer freaking phenomenal with him. I'm just like, I can't even get close to this guy when the AI is using Rui. But man, me and Wesley be having battles. He'll be choosing Tengen, and I'm like, man, I hate Tengen because he's so freaking good in this game. But then when you're like, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to be Rui because I want to try him out. We just unlocked him. I can't do crap with this man. And Wesley over here is just saying, fireworks, fireworks, fireworks.
Just the fact of like, yep, you have fireworks, and then you sit there and try to go for like an overhead, and I just hit you with a low, and you're like, you can do that? That's just craziness. And then you're over here trying to throw out traps that Rui has, and then you're like, how come none of these are hitting? How come none of these are connecting? Then you jump into like the story mode type of thing where the AI is in control and he has wide area boss range effects, and
And
you're
I'm just like,
like,
how are you doing this? I get so upset. I'm just like, why is AI Rui just like he can control the entire arena? But me playing as Rui, I'm just like, small area of effect. And I'm just like, what? Oh man, but no. So once you got the DLC characters in there from the entertainment districts, once we got a hold of Yutaro, I was like, all right, level playing field with Tengen. So I let me tell you this: S tier freaking Tengen. His attacks are fast. They're
mhm.
super strong. He's good at juggling you. That's the one thing I hated because you would get into that combo and I would be like, well, that's it. I can't block. I can't do anything because he hits
I'm
the
gonna just put down the controller.
he
He's
hit
already done.
because Wesley was able to find this perfect combo where it hits perfect frame windows where you're like, all right, I get a time to hit right. Nope, nope. Because Wesley's just like, nah, I got that perfect combo, baby. I'm all good. I get so mad.
Gets to the
But
point where you sit there and you're like, all right, I have a split second window where I can retaliate, and that window is dwindling real quickly, and then you're just like, Wesley, just let me hit the floor, hit the ground,
like,
please,
let me
please.
say it. Let me say it. And Wesley's just like, nah, brother, I got this. The only way you could like escape from it is if you call an assist from one of your partners. You just like, hey Tanjiro, I need you to jump in here real quick. All right, I got you. Just like, please, I need help.
Or there's
But
times where you call in your assist and then the opponent just goes, nah, your assistant's over here. You go, nah, get out of here.
and you just hit my assist away, and I'm just like, what?
Like,
But
nah, this is a 1v1 situation. Not you ain't jumping me. This ain't JJK.
oh my god, the day they turned JJK into a freaking anime, I'm pretty sure. I'm calling it now.
You mean into a game? It's already an anime.
I meant to say when they turned it into a game. I'm calling it now. JJK is going to be turned into an arena fighter. I'm already
Um,
calling it.
I'm gonna let you know this now. They're making a game of JJK.
It's an arena fighter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash,
Dag nabbit.
and
I knew it.
it's a 2v2.
A freaking course. 2v2?
2v2.
You know, little side off topic thing. There are good anime games that aren't arena fighters. Then
Mhm.
again, they turned My Hero Academia into a battle arena. It's a Fortnite style game. And I'm just like, I need to play it to give it a good thing. But anyway, sidetracking for a moment. there are good anime games that aren't arena fighters.
Hmm.
And this isn't a tangent on, okay, every shonen every shonen anime, if it's turned into a game, needs to be an arena fighter. I'm going to find some good examples because I can't think of any at the moment. But like turn it, like I could have seen, like they tried to turn Demon Slayer into an adventure game kind of thing, because with the when you go into the main story,
Hmm.
there were points where we had to do investigations and stuff like that, where it was a walking simulator at best.
Yeah. I mean, but most of
We're,
them was already done by yours truly, so.
well, yeah, because but no, it's just like you have to walk from point to point. You interact with like the story that's right there or whatever, and then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, whatever. No, but it got worse at Mugen Train, because Mugen Train was basically you remember the movie, right? We're gonna replay the entire movie. The only parts where you actually play gameplay is when you have to fight against Mugen. And I'm just like,
No, no, it's when you had to fight against Enmu.
sorry, Enmu. I can't remember the guy's name for a moment.
You're
It's like
good.
those are the only times where you actually did gameplay. I'm like, what is this game? This isn't even a game at this point. I'm rewatching the movie, just in cutscenes.
And it's just like when it came to the Mugen Train part of the game itself, I already knew. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to relive through this all over again because
Yeah,
one, I already read the manga, so I already knew what was gonna happen. Two, I already watched the movie, so I already knew what was gonna happen. And then I had to go through the game, and then I was like, oh, I'm about to cry again. And then I had to hold back the tears because we were playing the game.
yeah. We were playing the game. We were living the moment.
So yeah, but I will say like CC2 did their thing though. Like for me, right? Like when it came to like the QTE situation, the quick time events for
Yeah,
most people who wouldn't know whenever we say QTE, if you sit there and say, what's a QTE, Wes? A QTE is a quick time event. It's
quick time
when a
event.
prompt shows up and it's like, so for us,
Hit the correct button.
yeah, we hit the correct button in this correct amount of time. It'll show a bar. It'll be like, if you don't hit it in this amount of time, you're done for. You're done so.
You done
And
screwed up the cutscene. You're
right.
dead.
And so like I liked it because when the QT prompt showed up, I was on it. I was like, all right, I know what to
Okay.
do. And it's because when like I was saying before, I'm coming from the Storm series, and coming from Storm 4, you have QTs throughout Storm 4. And it's like, all right, you know what's gonna happen. If something goes down, your fingers need to be ready.
Yeah.
And so I appreciated that. It was just that there was times where I'm engaged in the story, and then you get blindsided by, oh, QTE time. And so you
Time to
already
go.
you already have I could, like, at one point when we were playing, I accidentally put down the controller because I was like, "Oh, it's just a cutscene.
Nope.
We're just gonna, watch the cutscene play out." And then a QTE happened, and I instantly had to pick the controller back up and do the QTE real quick before time ran out.
It gets you like that.
So,
So
like,
this is kind of like mixing into the next section of the game, or next section of the video. But to quickly go back to just reviewing the game as the game it is itself, it's a competent arena fighter. You will learn really quickly which characters are actually really, really good and which ones are kind of like you'll need to actually put in a lot of practice to use them.
no, don't worry. There
Um,
have been a lot of people who have put in a lot of practice with these characters.
yeah, like I've seen video gameplay of people like actually fighting with these characters, and I'm just kind of like, man, I can't do that. I don't know what I was doing wrong. Um, but so let's talk about the actual story, because like I said before, this follows season 1 to Mugen Train, to the end of Mugen Train,
Yeah.
with some interesting parts. So me and Wesley's watched first off, he's watched all of the anime. He's caught up. He's read the entire manga. He's read the entire manga by the time we started playing this game.
Yep.
Me, I've seen the first season. I've seen Mugen Train. I've watched the quote unquote movie that was the Swordsmith arc. I still need to watch season 2 and season 3. But still, I was competent and I knew the story of the game. Now, when it comes to the actual story of this game, it's a little bit quirky because it follows the story, but it doesn't. At
I mean,
the same time,
they took some creative liberties.
they took some creative liberties, yes, but they also made it goofy. You have to admit they made some parts goofy. The part that I'm talking about
Yeah,
is
go ahead.
when we were introduced to Lady Tamayo,
Tamio
Lady
and
Tamayo
Yushiro.
and Ishiro.
Yushiro.
So
Sorry.
sorry, Yushiro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm so terrible at remembering these people's names.
Look, we haven't played. We in all honesty, we haven't played this in like probably like a couple of months, so I understand.
Well, it's not just that. I'm not good at remembering the demons' names all that well. I remember the main characters' names. Like I remember most of the Slayers' names,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't remember the demons' names to save my freaking life, dude.
Why do you think I'm here?
I'm about to say, this is why you're here. You can remember all the demons' names. You're all good with this. So, what do I mean by, okay, they made some of the parts goofy? There's a
Mm-hmm.
part in the game. This never happened in the anime where Yushiro is just kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to dip on them.
Oh,
I'm
you're
like,
talking about the sequence where we have to literally chase after Yushiro.
we have to follow his scent. So we have to use the little
Yeah.
gimmick of Tanjiro's like scent tracking thing. And he's like, "What? You can walk through walls?" I'm just like, "That never happened in the anime. That's not a thing.
I
That's
mean,
wrong."
that's what I mean by, they took creative liberties. 'Cause
Well, yeah, because they
it's
have
not
to
like they're supposed
gamify it.
to, it's not like it's not like CC2 was going to follow it one to one. You need some elements of gameplay. If it's literally just, hey, we're just gonna copy and paste the anime into the game, then what's the point? You know?
Well,
It's like, hey, like, all right, think of it like this, right? You sit there and you have a novel, right?
yeah,
And then you're like, all right, we're gonna make a movie out of this, right?
yeah.
Then so you sit there and you're like, you read through, let's say you're the director, you read through and everything, you're like, all right, this is good, this is good. Hey, we're gonna tweak this a little bit. We're gonna tweak this certain chapter to make it where it never actually happened, but it quote unquote happened. And then you release it out to the public. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, give me props. This was
Yeah.
masterpiece, quote unquote, movie of the year. And then, you got some reviewers like, hey, like this wasn't one to one of the source material. What the heck is going on here? The book was better. And
Oh, yeah. The book is always better and all that
you
stuff.
got that whole thing going on, and so you kind of have to take some creative liberties to, it's a game, so you're gonna have to have
Yeah.
some walking segments or some, following the stray cat or
Like,
segment of, hey, we have to follow this character in order to get the explanation of, hey, you can actually walk through walls to get to Lady Tamiya's,
like,
place.
like
So
I understand that they had to gamify some parts of the anime to, you know, make sense with it because they wanted to follow the story. Yes, I completely understand it. Not all of the story was not every single scene was fighting scene, fighting scene, fighting scene. I completely understand that. But how can I say this? If this game was just the fighting scenes, because let's be honest, the adventure walking simulator parts of the game,
mhm.
if we were, let's say theoretically, if those were never ever part of the game,
Mhm.
then it would have just been like, okay, yeah, this still makes sense as a game. Yeah, it's not as good because there are some parts where I'm just kind of like, I'm glad they didn't I'm glad they added this in, where Tanjiro was recovering from after going into the spider demon's forest and stuff like that. The whole
Hmm.
recovery period, because towards the end of season 1, there was no fighting.
Yeah.
After Ruri and everything, it was just a recovery period. Yeah, that makes sense. To turn that into a little mini game thing. I like that part. Um, the investigation of after he became part of the Demon Slayer Corps, and his first thing was to go against the Swamp Demon
Hmm. Hmm.
or
Yeah.
demons, because there
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
three of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That was like a little investigation thing, because you're going around town, you're talking to people, you're finding evidence and stuff like that. That makes sense.
Hmm.
Like, I understand the need for. I'm kind of glad they didn't go down the once justice track, where it was just.
Made by a totally different developer, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm glad they didn't go down that track where it was. If you remember the story mode of once justice,
No.
it
Oh
was
yeah.
just
No. I remember.
it
But
was just
go on. Go
random.
on.
It was random fights with no story, really. It was just, all right, we're going on to the next fight. Who what are we doing? Oh, it's Deku versus Uraraka. Okay, that never happens in the anime, but it's happening in the game now. Like I said, I understand, and I know they're different developers and stuff like that, and I know they try to make it to where it's like it's not always um it's not always fighting scenes.
Mhm.
But okay, let's see. There was a Naruto game that I've played. I can't remember the exact name for it, but it came out on Xbox 360. And it followed um the first part of Naruto, when he first got when he stole the scroll, and he
Mhm.
was under, can't remember the first teacher's name before he
Aruka.
got
He was under Aruka.
Iruka. When he was under Iruka before he went to Kakashi.
So he was still at the
Um
academy, so he was working with Aruka. And
yeah.
then before that was way before he got into Team Seven with Kakashi. So
Yeah, and then it followed up the story to the tuning exams, because it was right before Gara awoken to the demon beast that was within him, the
through
one-tailed
the
beast.
One Tail Shikaku. So
Yeah,
you pretty much played through probably Storm One.
it might have been, but
Probably Storm One.
there are parts in it where you actually explored the village.
Yeah, yeah,
There
because
was
that's the free roam aspect
the free roam,
of the Naruto series. Yeah,
and there was you would do there were mini games or stuff like that where you had to use your chakra, and you had to do
yeah,
the
you'd have
different
to do like
signs and stuff like
the
that.
different signs. You learn the chakra feat, or jumping from branch to branch to branch to branch to
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, I remember that fondly, and
Mm.
it did follow the story. It actually played actual scenes from the anime. And I was just kind of like, yo, this is so freaking cool, bruh. I love this. And it wasn't an arena fighter, it was a side by side.
Right, yeah, 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 yeah. So that was
But
like that was way back in the day. So that was like, when kind of like when we had remember the Flash games that we used to play? It's
yeah,
kind of like that. So like
yeah,
you have your screen and then you have Naruto right here, Kakashi right here, and then the whole background of Konoha, and it's literally just let's just fight against each other. We can bounce all over the place and still be within frame.
yeah. So
So
basically, Street Fighter.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. Like OG Street
So,
Fighter kind of.
yeah, OG Street Fighter. And, that made sense to me. For some reason, that just made it like a lot of sense to me. Now, granted, Demon Slayer doesn't really do stuff like that. I don't
Hmm.
know how they could have probably done the free roaming a little bit better, because, like I said, mostly a walking sim, mostly a hey, walk here, try to find a little collectible and stuff like that. I don't know how they could have done it better. But back to the actual story of the game, they had to gamify some things. They switched things up in the story a little bit. Again, the horrific tragedy that was the Mugen train, where it was just, all right, how many missions are in the Mugen train chapter, Wes? And we are just kind of like, oh, there's like 4. I'm just kind of like, there's a lot that happens in the movie. What are they gonna do? And it was just, we're gonna replay the movie in cutscene form. And I'm just like, so I bought this game to rewatch a movie that I can
I
watch
bought the
for
game,
free.
but
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah. We got it.
just hypothetical, just like
Yeah,
so we bought a game. You bought a game,
yeah.
and we're just gonna rewatch a movie.
Because like when it came to the Akaza fight, right?
Yeah,
Literally, we only got to sit there and do. We only got to fight Enmu and Akaza. Those are the only two fights
yeah,
that we actually got to do. Besides the, set your heart ablaze and yada yada yada, and then
yeah.
Goku,
We heard the whole thing, the whole spiel before he dies and stuff like
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah, and it's
You
just
see him
like,
die.
and like not gonna lie, the Akaza fight kind of threw us for a loop when we because we weren't expecting it. We were like, all right, beat Enmu, all right, we good. Then we were like,
But
okay, let's.
if you've watched the movie, you knew what
I mean,
happened.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like if you had watched the movie, then you already know it ain't over yet. We still got
yeah,
one more demon, and you're just like, but like when we were playing it, we were like, all right, cool. Because remember, we got faked out because we were
yeah.
like, oh, it said end, so we were like, oh, all
Oh
right,
yeah,
we're
and
done.
that
We're
weird little part afterwards where he wakes up in a dream and then he fights, and that's how he learns his new powers and stuff like that. I was just kind of like, no, that didn't happen in the end. I'm sorry. There were many parts where I was looking at the game, like I was watching the game. If you once the videos come out, you'll literally hear me be like, "That didn't happen in the anime. No, no, that wasn't it. That didn't happen like that."
like the like so after the whole Akaza fight and everything, we're like, all right, we mourn, we go train, but then it's like we so basically game quote unquote ends, credits roll, we give our final thoughts and everything, we're good. And
Yeah,
then you hear Orokodaki keep talking and you're like, dude, why are you still talking? Like I thought you were done. And then you wake up in the hospital and you're like, yo, what the heck is going on here? And then we get up, walk outside, clothes completely changed, and then we're just like, this ain't right. And then you
this
see
ain't.
Rengoku standing off to the side, and you're just like,
And
oh,
Goku says not a singular
he doesn't
word.
say a thing, and you're just like,
He all
Rengoku,
he
you
does
good?
is nod. He takes out his sword, and we're like, "Yep, we gotta fight him." And I'm just like, "But why?"
Gets into his fighting stance and then charges at us, and I'm like, all right, my boy, here we go. And remember how we were talking about Rui earlier with them wide hitbox ranges?
Oh my god, freaking Rengoku was just like, "Nah, bruh, I'll take over this entire screen." And I'm just like, "What?"
Because I was the one fighting him, and I'm just like, and like the one time I got lucky was when he pushed me back and he pushed me out of range, and I was like, "Hello? Since when did you have these abilities?" Like,
This was never in the game. When I played you, you never did this.
I'm like, when you were playable, how come you didn't use any of these against Akaza? You
All
could have
right,
easily.
so AI Rengoku, a freaking god, controls the playing field. Like again, it's the Rui situation all over again,
Mhm.
where AI character controls the battlefield, is really good at juggling and crap like that. When we play as them, eh. But with Rui, it's like I can't even do a single thing. Like I don't even know what I'm doing. What is my purpose in life when it comes to freaking Rui? But let's continue on with like going towards the end of this video. So
Mhm.
we're gonna start comparing this to other anime arena fighting games. Starting off, the quickest comparison that I can make this to, uh, My Hero Academia is Once Justice.
Mhm.
Now I've played Once Justice 1 and 2, but I've played the story mode of 1, not completely, but I've played it. Comparing it to that, well, this one, I have to say Demon Slayer does it better because it actually follows a story. I've talked about this before earlier in this video, but Demon Slayer actually tries to follow the story of seasons 1 into Mugen Train.
Mhm.
Once Justice had no story, it didn't follow the anime whatsoever. There's one moment where all of a sudden, where your Deku you're going against Bakugo, and I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah, but it doesn't even follow the anime. It's just, all right, mission one, you're fighting against Bakugo, and I'm just kind of like, is there a purpose to me fighting? You know what, game? You should know what you're doing, and then all of a sudden, I have a choice to be Denki versus Ida or Uraraka versus Jiro, and I'm just kind of like, so we're just fighting. Is
Pretty
that
much.
it?
Pretty much.
And it's like, yeah, it's just like not only are you doing that, but you're also unlocking skins. And I was like, I don't care about the skins. I
Skins
don't
are none of
care.
my concern.
Because I mean, there's no purpose to fighting. You're just fighting. Now, you've played One Justice 2.
Yeah.
Then the story mode in that, is it just One Justice 1, but more fights?
It's literally the Endeavor, not the Endeavor Agency. It's literally the overhaul arc.
Oh, it actually follows the story.
Um, I mean, yeah, it does, but
You
we
said
still.
that as if you sounded so uncertain when you said that.
So when I say yeah,
Yeah.
because there's moments where it, like, do you remember where I know we're going on a tangent here.
Yeah, yeah.
You remember when Muriel lost his quirk,
Yeah.
right? So remember how in the anime, how I literally just showed slideshows, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
In One Justice 2, you actually get to play that fight,
Oh, that's, you know what?
which at that point I was hyped about. I was
Okay.
hyped. I was good. I was like, this is everything that I wanted, but the anime never gave me. And
It
and
sounds like
then
I need to play through One Justice 2, but the story mode.
and then it got weird because like it did like comic book kind of story mode.
But at least try
So
to show a story.
I mean, it kind of did. And then like the only time it actually went back to like the full CG cutscenes kind of thing that we're used to
Yeah.
is like it did it in the beginning with Night Eye doing his, using his quirk, and
Yeah.
then toward the end where we have to fight Overhaul.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
That's a short story mode.
And you're like, what the heck?
That's it
Well,
for story mode?
you're like, there should be a lot more here.
Because I mean, from what I saw from the roster and from what we've played
And
together,
then we just get update after update after update of, hey, let's throw in Gentle and Labrava. Hey, let's throw in Vigilante Skin Deku. Hey, let's throw in Shinzo. Let's throw in almost every other character that you love and know.
and then we get vamped up Sugar Rock. I know this is a tangent, and you know this would be a tangent for another one, but I just want to say we get vamped up Shigaraki, who
Mm,
can now spread his decay. Because
yep.
in One Justice 1, it was so small. He was like, "Meh."
It
And
was
then that's
literally
it.
like, all right, I'm gonna place my hand on the ground and then only a puddle around me is gonna form. Whereas now you got amped up Shigaraki, where okay, I'm gonna run and glide across the freaking ground, and
Glide.
I'm gonna glide, and
Oh my god.
as he's gliding across the ground, all the decay comes with. So yeah,
So I mean, like I said, we're gonna save this
I
for
should
a
put my
different
boy
video.
Koichi in there.
We need to play through One Justice 2, obviously, and so we could talk about more of the story for that one. But before we go back onto that tangent, let's compare this to another game. You were mentioning the Ninja Storm series.
Mhm,
Since I have not a lot of experience with this, I feel like you'll do better with explaining the comparison with this one.
mhm. In what way?
So
Sorry, I think a
no,
little
no, no,
bit
no.
more.
Comparing it to Demon Slayer. So the way that
Oh, okay,
the
okay.
Ninja Storm series handles the story, does it
So,
follow the anime
okay,
beat by
okay, yeah,
beat?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I got it, I got it, I got it. I just needed a little bit of context there.
No, no,
You
no, no. You're
threw me
good.
in the
You're good.
deep
You're
end there
good.
for a second. So when it comes to I'm literally just going to talk about Storm 4
Okay.
because from, okay, for those of y'all who don't know, I am a huge Naruto fan.
Yeah, you can
Um,
tell by the freaking Naruto thing in the back.
the poster in the background. Um, but like, I grew up watching Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. We started a whole freaking yeah.
This was
Um,
because of his love.
and so like, when Storm 4 was coming out, it was in the middle of us in the middle of the anime Naruto. We were in the reaching into the war. We had no clue what was going on. No, I'm going on a tangent here. It's much needed. Um, but we went into the war when Naruto Storm 4 came out. We were like what, still in high school at the time. So
Yeah.
Naruto Storm 4 came out, I bought it, and it followed beat for beat, except for filler arcs. It followed beat
God knows
it
there's so many
followed
filler arcs.
it followed beat for beat the anime. And not gonna lie, I spoiled myself on how the anime ends. And we had just entered into the war, and I was like, all right, I'm good, I'm good. And so, I played through the game. It took me probably like maybe like 3, 4 days to get through, with us doing school and everything. So I played it like,
Yeah.
before going to bed and stuff like that. So it probably took me, I want to say 5 days at most,
Okay.
maybe like a week. And I was like, all right, all right. And I got to the final uh chapter, we'll call it, of Storm 4, and I was like, I was sitting there, I was fighting the final boss, and I was like, all right, and I was like, all right, I'm doing it. We're bouncing off walls. I'm in my own room. I'm screaming out attack names like I'm actually there. I'm like, Rasengan, you're going down.
My goodness.
So me and the enemy finally clash, and then credits roll, and I sat there and I was like, that's a good game. That's a really good game. Mind you, I'm in the middle of sobbing while
Oh
I'm
yeah.
saying this,
Because
and
now
I'm
you know
like,
how it ends.
this is a really good game. And then everything hit me at one time, and I was like, did I just spoil myself on how the anime ends? And I'm like, oh no. So the entire time I'm at school, I can't tell anyone about the game.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
everyone's like, yo, Wes, I heard you got Storm 4. How is it? I'm like,
Uh-huh.
it's a
It's
good game,
good.
all right.
But you can at least say that it
But like the
actually followed the
combat,
story.
the yeah, like it followed the story. The QTEs, like I said earlier, paid tribute to it and everything. And it fluidity was good. Like when the QTEs came up, you knew what to do, and the motions that followed were pretty much seamless.
Okay.
Like, I guess in this instance, I'm gonna go back to, I guess, like it was like the Naruto and Sasuke when they fight at the this other bridge, and it's like
Yeah.
you have both of them going in, and they're both using one's using Chidori, one's using Rasengan. They finally collide, and you fight during that whole segment, and there's a QTE in that segment, and that's just in the past. And
Yeah.
then there everything's like fluidity, and it's just everything's like bouncing off of each other, and then you know flash of white light, bring you back into the present, and the fight continues on. And then you're like, yo, what the heck was that?
Okay.
Whereas this
Demon
is a
Slayer.
positive. This is a positive, mind you,
Okay.
not a negative. Whereas when we go into Demon Slayer, it's like, all right, we're clashing blades, or we're fighting demons, and the QTE pops up, you do whatever you need to do, and it's not like, all right, I'm a swing sword and then stutter, 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 finally hit.
Yeah.
It's all right, we're gonna swing all the way through, clash, do whatever we need to do.
Struggle against the opposing force, but like
Exactly.
successful QETs. Ah, we go through
Yeah.
it.
And then, you get the oh, secret factor unlocked, and then the whole backstory, shows up in a cute little montage, and then it's like,
Yeah,
all
it
right,
shows up in the
cool. And then, you're like, all right, cool, that was a plus. And then, you get your little S rank or you get your little A rank, and then, so the ranking system didn't really bother me. The ranking
yeah.
system is the same thing in the Storm series. You either get an S rank or you get all the way down to a D rank.
And like I could say, the QTEs, the one specifically that I remember is that one scene in season one where it blew up Twitter because of how amazing the animation was.
Oh, the one with
When
Rui.
he wakens to his flames, to the demon
Hmm.
flames and stuff like that, and he slices through what he thinks he slices through Rui's neck.
Yeah, when he unlocks the Hinokami Kagura. Yeah.
Yeah, the Hinokami Kagura. So when we like going through that in QTEs, I know a lot of people have problems with quick time events and stuff like that. They're like, oh, it cheapens the game. Well, for that part of the game, I was
Mhm.
like, yo, I'm so hyped because I was invested. I wanted to make sure I got the QTEs perfectly correct because I was just like, yo, I'm finna play out that scene. That scene plays out perfectly because I did it.
Right. You
It was
have
one
that
of
sense
those
of accomplishment.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I was just like, yeah, I'm finna do the freaking scene that blew up Twitter. It was one of those good things. And I guess, you know, take it as you will. Uh Demon Slayer did really try its best to accommodate for the parts where there weren't a lot of fighting scenes and stuff like that. Like, yes, we even played through what some would consider the down times of the
Hmm.
anime, the recovery period. I was surprised that was even in the game when we are at the Butterfly Mansion and stuff like that. That was a big surprise. I'm kind of glad that they put it in there because it played well into go because it followed the story and it goes
Yeah.
into Mugen Train. The way they handled Mugen Train, a little bit messy. Let's be honest. It was
Yeah.
messy.
Not gonna
It
lie.
was you were going to rewatch the movie, but in cutscenes. And I'm like, if I want to watch the movie, I'll just watch the movie. Let's
Either
be
that
honest.
or either that or we'll just go straight to Crunchyroll and just, watch the episodes as they play out.
Exactly. But they did what they could.
Hmm.
And if they decide to do a Demon Slayer 2,
Hmm.
I'll be most likely to play it. Now, let's go on to the con because we're coming towards the end of the video. And we've been saying some praise, some cons, but here's my one main con that I have with the game:
Hmm.
the character roster.
Hmm.
Now, why am I talking about this? A lot of good fighting games have a really good roster. Let's think about Smash Brothers. It has a good roster. There are a couple of characters that are basically kind of the same, but they still kind of play out a little bit differently. Toon Link, regular Link, um,
Got some
Mario.
some 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 what's the word? Echo fighters. Yeah.
Yeah, we have Echo Fighters and stuff like that. Um, but compare Ryu with not Jerry. What's the Terry? Sorry.
Terry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could.
Jerry.
All I
Tom and
could.
Jerry?
I can remember his name for a second. They're both physical fighters, but they both still play very, very differently.
Yeah, I mean, and
Uh,
plus they're coming from two different fighting games,
two
so
different fighting games, but like they're still physical fighters. Like they deal with their fists,
yeah,
but they still play out differently. Sora's basically a sword fighter, but he still plays out differently. Think of Hero from the Dragon Quest series. He's still a sword fighter, but guess what? He plays out differently. He has his own gimmick and stuff like that. Link, he's a sword fighter. Even Toon Link, he's a sword fighter. They still play out all types of differently.
hmm,
You have similar classes, but they still all play out differently. My Hero Academia wants justice. Each of them have their own special quirks. They use them in different ways. They all play out differently.
hmm,
The Ninja Storm series, from what I remember,
hmm,
from what I played, they all play out differently because they use chakra, they use it in different ways, and because they have different specializations,
yeah,
all
yeah,
play out differently. Now, I'm gonna name out the roster for Demon Slayer, and wait until I get to the end. so that we can talk about the glaring issue that is this roster. So the first list I'm talking out is characters that were put on there pre-launch. Then we have post-launch update and then DLC characters.
Mhm.
Remember that. This is important. Pre-launch characters. Tanjiro Kamado. I'm not going to say their last names. Tanjiro, Nezuko, Zenitsu, Inosuke, Giyu, Sakun, people don't know him by his first name, Urokodaki, Sabito, Makomo, the two dead kids that teaches Tanjiro how to use a sword. That's kind of a mean way to say that. Shinobu, Rengoku, and then we have Tanjiro in Hinokami Kagura form. I'm starting to see a pattern here. Murata, literally an NPC.
Yep.
Wesley gets mad at me every time I say that, but he's literally just a copy of Tanjiro, Giyu, Sabato. He's a water user.
Yep, and apparently he has an ability where he can cheer.
So we have the Tanjiro. That's Murata's basically Tanjiro number 3. Tanjiro again, Kimetsu Academy. That's strange.
That's it. That's the one that we were missing.
That's Tanjiro number 4, Wes. Do you see a pattern here?
Yeah.
Nezuko, another repeat character, but
wait.
Kimetsu no Academy form.
Okay, yep, that was the one we're also missing. Okay, so that
She's just Nezuko with bread in her mouth.
Literally.
We have Giyu, Kimetsu no Academy form. Again, it's just Giyu. We have
tracksuit.
In tracksuit, Zenitsu, Kimetsu no Academy form. He fights with a broom. Inosuke, Kimetsu no Academy form. He doesn't have his mask on, and he fights with a bat. Wow, that's so different. We have Shinobu, Kimetsu no Academy form. She uses a fencing sword. These are all pre-launched characters. Half of this roster.
I get it now.
Repeat.
I get it now. So
these should have been skins. The Academy form should have just been a skin.
Skins, yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Because I'm looking at the roster right now.
But no, so wait. Now we're going to talk about post-launch update. This is where they try to fix up a couple of things. They try adding the demons. You have Ryu, Akaza, Yahaba, the eye demon, Sasamaru, the multi-armed ball demon, Enmu, dream demon, Yushiro and Tamayo. They're one character because Tamayo just does an area effect, and then Yushiro is the physical fighter.
Yeah.
That was our post update. So now, give me 1 second. I'm going to talk about the DLC.
That's right. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I'm talking about DLC now. We have Tengen Uzui.
My boy.
We have Nezuko, but in her advanced demon form. So technically she's a new fighting style. She's not a repeat.
And plus with this one, she does count as a demon because you wouldn't be able to put her with a Slayer.
Yeah, she does count as a demon. Oh, wait, what's this? Do I see yet again repeat characters? We have Tanjiro. That's Tanjiro number 5, Wes.
This is the Bloodshot one from
This is Bloodshot Eye,
District.
but he still plays the same.
Except he has water and fire mixed together.
Okay, cool. Okay, you know what? He's a different form.
He's a different form.
Zenitsu, Entertainment District. He still plays as Zenitsu.
Yeah.
Inosuke, Entertainment District. He's Inosuke, but I don't know. I guess he's cheerful. I don't get it. He still has his mask on. I literally don't know the difference.
So that's what those 3 at the bottom would be, right next to Daki and Gyutaro.
And then there's Daki and there's Gyutaro. So Wesley, do you see my problem with this roster?
We literally have 1, 2, 3. You would have 4 Tanjiros, not counting Murata. Let's count Murata as his own.
Murata,
okay.
I won't
judgment
count
wise,
Murata. I won't count Murata.
let's say
Yes.
you and me are looking at the roster, right? Because we're both looking at the roster right now.
Yeah, we're looking at the
So
roster.
we're
Yes.
counting as Murata as one character.
He's different. Yes. Okay.
You have for Tanjiro, base Tanjiro, Hinokami Kagura Tanjiro, Kimetsu Tanjiro.
And then
I'm up to three.
entertainment.
I'm up to three.
And then
And then you have
entertainment.
Entertainment District. You have four Tanjiro.
Let me tell you, we could have shortened that to just two Tanjiros.
Either that, or the best thing that you could have did was you could have just had base Tanjiro, and then literally, you know how you can flip through like the costumes? You could have just flipped through each Tanjiro.
Yes. Now, I know a lot of people will be like, but remember once Justice, you had multiple Dekus. Those Dekus played completely different. We had
You had base Deku, which, okay, let's treat base Deku as tournament Deku, where you can only use finger flicks.
Yeah, we could only use finger flicks. And then we had shoot style.
Then we had shoot style.
Completely different.
Completely different.
They were basically two separate different characters.
Yeah.
But literally in this game, we have a skin that should have just been a skin, but for some reason, he was given a completely different character roster. Now here's my thing. We should have just brought in the rest of the Hashira.
Like we don't get we we don't get them. We don't get any of them. We don't.
We only get Tengen.
We get no. We get Tengen. We get Giyu, and we get Shinobu, and we get Rengoku. We get four.
Where's the love Hashira?
So we don't get
the snake Hashira.
We don't get Mitsuri. We don't get Obanai. We don't get we don't even get Genya. We don't even get Sanemi. We
should have got Genya. Genya shows up in the freaking story.
We don't get Genya. We don't get Sanemi, his brother, and then we don't get the dude with the freaking mace. We don't get him. We don't get the blind one, and like
that's my problem with.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. So you know how I'm pretty sure you already know the news that Demon Slayer has come out with another game.
Oh yeah, you mean the Mario Party?
The one that has Mario Party in it. So for that one, you want to know who's in it?
The rest of the Hashira.
You have Muichiro. You have, I'm pretty sure you have all the other Hashira in there.
So why can't we
They literally had to make new assets and new models for the Hashira. But yet we couldn't put them
it doesn't they show up in the freaking story. That's my whole problem with this game. They show up in the story. They should have just been like extra characters that you unlock, but they don't show up in the season. Shut up. I don't care. You know what? When freaking in Tekken, when Demon Jin shows up, guess what? Technically, you're not supposed to play as him, but you can do a special little code and you can play as him. I don't care if it doesn't make sense in story form. They should just be extra characters that you can just unlock. Why do I need another skin of Zenitsu?
Even in Street Fighter, like technically you weren't supposed to be able to play as Akuma, but you were able to play as Akuma nonetheless.
Exactly. And you know what? He doesn't even make sense in the story, but guess what? He still shows up. He's just an extra character that you can play as. That's the thing. I don't care if it doesn't make sense in the story. He's just an extra character that I can play as. I don't care if he doesn't fight in this season. None of these other characters fight in the season. Technically, when freaking Tengen got put into the game, he doesn't even show up in the freaking story. He's just extra character. That's the thing that upsets me. Let me just have these extra characters. I don't need to play as a skin. I don't need two skins for Inosuke. I don't need 2 skins for Zenitsu to be separate characters. They should have all just been one character
And
with
then
separate
technically,
skins.
you have 3 skins for Nezuko.
No, because
Well,
advanced demon form is a separate
advanced
fighting style.
advanced demon form is a totally different one.
Fighting
Okay,
style.
technically you would have 2. You
Yeah,
have 2. You have base Nezuko and Kimetsu.
that's my problem. Is half of this roster is just skins.
I
I
mean, you
don't
give
need.
them different. Okay, I can get the fact that you give them different move sets. I mean, okay, most of their move sets are pretty much the same, but their ultimates are different.
And Wesley, you can keep saying Murata's a different character. Murata is literally an NPC. He is a background character. If you ask every demon, like every Demon Slayer fan who's watched the anime, who's read the manga, and if I go up to them and be like, "Who's Murata?" They're gonna be like, "Who?"
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Even when I was reading the manga, I straight up said, "My dude's just a background character. How has he survived this long?"
So why is he a completely? I don't get the decision to make him a character when he's literally just a literally watered down version of Giyu Urodaki. Uh,
He's basically
Hashiro.
a watered down version of every water user
So why is he a character when
because
it
he's a
should have
gag.
been the love Hashira?
Because he's a gag. He's a
I don't
gag
care that
character,
he's supposed to be the
and
Kuma of this
and
freaking
he's
roster.
supposed to be the Teddy. But like, there's like, like when this game was coming out, right? I think we were like what in the mix of having supposed to have because we already got through the entertainment district and everything, so we were in the mix of getting the Swordsman Village. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I was really looking forward to having Mitsuri in the game
And she doesn't
because
show up.
I mean, yeah, obviously we both know this, but it's
No, I
like,
know.
like I was looking forward to having Mitsuri in the game because one, she's a Hashira, and two, who else uses their sword as a whip?
Well, like Wesley, hold on, wait. That's
And
spoiler territory for me. Wait.
I mean, look, like who else can use their sword like that? Who else has a breathing style that extends from flame breathing?
Understandable.
Because
But
remember, she is, or technically was, the disciple of Rengoku. She was literally training under Rengoku.
wait. That's Wesley, wait. That's spoiler territory. We have to stop. Because if we continue going on, we will go further into spoiler territory. Also, we're going over on time, unfortunately, Wesley.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, I wanted to get out my problems when it comes to this roster. Because I don't need skins to be separate characters. They're skins for a reason. I could just press a button, go to a separate skin. But no, so I'm done yelling about that. But overall, this was still a pretty good game. Competitive wise, I don't see this as a really competitive game that goes off because I mean most of the characters are kind of bumpkiss, especially if you just have.
I mean, some of like you put these characters into competitive player games, they know how to play them.
Yeah, they will know how to play them, but if half the roster is skins, again, half the roster is just
Um,
skins.
I'm gonna let you know this now. There have been tournaments
I know
with this game,
I know there have been
and there
tournaments.
have been some people who know how to use freaking Sasamaru really well, or they know how to use Rui really well to the point where they don't really take that much damage.
And I know they could probably use Murata. I understand this.
I know like one person that probably one, maybe 2 people who use Murata, but it's like
He's terrible.
only to boost the other character.
Exactly. But I mean, we do have to end because we are starting to go a little bit over time. But overall thoughts, it's a good game. They did but this was a very interesting way to try to follow the story. But I mean, there are some things they could have done better. Character roster, but
You're not wrong.
but they did their best. So kudos. They did a good job.
Good job, CC2. Good job,
Yeah.
CC2.
Good job, CC2. I'm sorry I crapped so hard on your character roster, but you really do need to work on your character roster. Any other final
work on the Storm games? I'm just saying. I'm I'll back up that.
I'm just saying my piece. But did you have any final words that you wanted to add?
It was a good game though. That's the main point. We had fun. We had fun playing this.
We had a lot of fun playing this game.
And
I can't wait for us to actually like put them out for people to see because I'm excited.
And I guess soon we will have the next game, I guess. I mean, eventually we'll go through the Storm series. We'll at one point in time.
That's a for sure thing that we're planning on doing.
So,
but
yeah,
I can't wait
for now, we have completed our segment of well, technically it's not even a segment. We've completed our journey through the world of Hinokami Kagura. The world the world of Hinokami Kagura. Yes.
The world of Hinokami Kagura.
Flames. We conquered flames. But we basically ended our journey with Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Through this game.
Yeah.
If they ever
we have more things to talk about with Demon Slayer, but that's anime Demon Slayer, not video game Demon Slayer for the time being.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to touch the Mario Party. Maybe one day.
There'll be something.
Maybe one day. Yeah.
There'll be something.
But I just want to say thank you all for listening. Wesley usually says to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm stealing it from him this time.
We greatly appreciate it. You know, you like, comment, and subscribe. You do very good to us and to yourself. So that you at least know that when we come out with these episodes, in which every other Tuesday a video of ours should be going up. So, and
if you're just a podcast listener, please find our YouTube video. Wesley, I ask that you put a link in the description for our YouTube so that they could see actual us playing through the games and stuff.
Yeah.
But until next time, thank you all for stopping by, and we hope you enjoyed your visit to
the Underground
Geek Shack. See you guys.
See ya.